maybe like you can share that. You know exactly. Okay. For example, if someone's phone is lost, so don't ask someone else to call it. That you go find it. You know, it's behind the car.
First floor, I don't know national. Maybe we'll do it next week after the
Make
game.
some noise, like ring it. And then you can call it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but it doesn't work that way because it's a one-way communication between this transmitter and the reader. So the transmitter doesn't receive anything, so you cannot page this. No, we can make that, but it becomes double the price because you need to have a receiver as well from here. The idea is to make it as cheap as possible, to make the reader also as cheap as possible. So you can have several readers inside your house. If you're living in a 3-bedroom condominium, you can have 3 readers plus 1 in the kitchen, for example. And you can know roughly where is the device is.
The other suggestion is also depends on only readers. You can also implement. There are already people who are building applications that help people who can't see. Like people get around in the days and they can do something like take a photo of something and send it to a huge number of people in the picture and they can help identify what it is actually. So maybe more of such projects. Maybe in maybe in this project you can build an application, for example, to help people find objects around the house using RFID example. So, for example, they want to know where the also something or there's the bathroom and so on through RFID, and then the RFID puts in a location through sound says the bathroom room, for example, the bathroom is in the right hand. So,
Yes, that's a good idea. I agree with you. I have trouble finding the prayer room. Let's go next building. But that's also in my presentation. Actually, in my during my time in Melbourne last month, what we do is we put this on the road, and we have an embedded reader on the blind man stick, and it's connected to a smartphone. So this is practically an antenna. And the smartphone will translate the ID of that tag into the location and give an audible instruction. They say 50 meter from the conference entrance. And you can select, maybe there are several tags over there, and say like 50 meters from conference and 50 meters from Wollongong University, for example. So it can become like outdoor navigation. It may not be very accurate, but at least it helps. So that's a very good idea. Questions, suggestions, yes, please.
Is it possible to integrate such tags with GPS?
Yes. Is it possible to integrate this with tags? Yes, it's possible. Basically, this has a transmitter that is taking input from 8-bit analog, and from 8-bit analog we can have it from either light sensor or temperature sensor that I mentioned earlier, as well as from the GPS chip. Yes, please.
Just a couple of days ago, I was in the Zoom market, and there's tags. They told me this is to track everything.
Yeah. Maybe no difference, but this can be used for more. Just not for just for yes. Well, maybe similar. Now nowadays we have like a Bluetooth low energy, which also an RFID form of RFID. So, but that's only for like a beacon. Maybe you have heard of this beacon by Apple. It's also just transmitting information. But this can do much more. Yes.
Two ideas, suggestions. One is indoor navigation. Here, if you run multiple transmitters,
Yes.
you can triangulate and know your location indoor. This such application would be very good for big malls. If you want to give the customers inside the mall an interactive map where you can navigate to different locations, you can do that.
Yes, thank you.
And the second suggestion is if there was a reader in the shape of cover for a phone, then the transmitters are planted in different locations, like for example, one in the car, one in the bedroom, one in the office. Phone should change the setting, profile, icons, etc., based on where is the phone. If I'm in the car, it should be auto answer. If I'm in home, it should be silent. If I'm in work, it should be answer.
That's a very good idea. Thank you. For the first one, by the way, we did that proof of concept. We had like a 80-meter square booth during the city of Hanover, and we had several readers inside, and we have a rough triangulation of the location of the tag. However, it was not very accurate because the RF radio frequency is very much affected by metal and water, and we human, 80% of us are water. So when I put this here, it's different when I do like this and I stand like this. The reader reads differently.
If you plant more transmitters,
More, yes.
better
Excellent. Yes. Yes, sir. You were raising my hand.
How you can find yourself? Actually, it's all the same application. Which is only this. Number two, they are using the same API for almost, it's connected to there is multiple providers, but they are all certified by speaking this certificate. So they are using the same API mostly. So it's much easier for the developers use this developers actually to integrate it and integrate with your devices. Because you're saying that you're not using Google or anything else. You are using RFID. Right?
Yes.
So I just need to understand how you can identify yourself and how you are pushing the business and the developers to use your single packets.
Yeah. Very good question that is not easy to answer. Market differentiation is always a challenge because Bluetooth is more mature. It's more available because most of our phones can read Bluetooth, while this you need external reader. Okay. What we are trying to do here is to have a flexibility. Okay. A Bluetooth so far, even the cheapest Bluetooth dongle or Bluetooth IP can cost $50. And for the past 2 years, it hasn't gone down, the price. Even I tried to buy the chip directly from Texas Instruments, it's not that much cheaper either. There are some cheap similar stuff on Alibaba, this Chinese website. But I haven't tried. That. But based on the feedback, it's not really reliable. So we try to make a reliable device that is adaptable, that is flexible enough and cheap enough. For example, this is working on 433 megahertz, which is ISM band, which is approved here. And we can make this so-called TRA of each country to make sure that this device is workable. But so far we choose 433 megahertz because it's commonly acceptable worldwide. We can make it to work at 2.4 gigahertz as well. But as what Bluetooth use, 2.4 gigahertz is a crowded frequency right now. So that's one of the things why we try to do it at another frequency. But it's not limiting us from using the frequency at 2.4 gigahertz. Another thing is that we can use an open system. Let's say you want to make your tag public. So not only your reader can read, but also other people's read. That means if somehow, hopefully not, if your luggage lost and the signal is picked up by other people, that reader will send the data to the server, which in turn will notify you that actually your tag is detected by this reader in this location. And you can seek help from the similar, the same users, like your fellow reader users around to locate you.
And you said that it's not GPS sensor inside, right?
There's no GPS sensor in this version, but earlier the gentleman asked if it is possible. Yes, it is possible to feed the GPS location because it has a 6-bit input, so you can.
For the GPS, I think you would use it.
Yeah, it will. It will.
The
Yes.
sensor, the solar battery that
You're right. It will drain your battery if you have GPS here. It is possible to put GPS here, but it's not preferable. So how do you solve that? You put the GPS chip on the reader. The reader is not going anywhere. Let's say we have one reader on the door, and you know the GPS location of that door. As you pass, the idea of this tag will be picked up by the reader. The reader will report to the server with the location. At least you are within 50 meters. Yes, please.
Just to elaborate on the GPS part of the feature. So, for example, if you put the tag in your car, you can take advantage in a parking lot to charge the customer, for example, to charge for parking.
Yeah.
But the same tag with the GPS chip in it, you can track. For example, leaves it for you in the airport. Your friend leaves it for you in the airport,
Yeah.
and you can't find it. You can use that same tag to locate your car with the GPS.
Yes, since you have the GPS, feed the information to this tag, and this tag will send the data to the reader. Yes, you can do that. So the advantage as compared to the conventional GPS tracker nowadays is that GPS tracker requires you to have a GSM SIM card inside, and the GSM SIM card will incur data usage, right? So it costs a lot. But with this, the reader can be connected to the Wi-Fi, let's say in the airport, and as your car passes by, it will give also the location and maybe the speed. If you connect this to OBD2 interface in your car, it even can give you information like how much fuel left on your car, how many RPMs your engine is running. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. Okay, thank you. So I think the time is almost out. So, but I'll be still here for the next 2 days, inshallah. Thank you very much for your attention.
And thank you, Peter, for that. And I'll be very happy when you can find my luggage when you're traveling. We've had a temporary shutdown of our internet, but thankfully it's back up, in case any of you are wondering. We'll move right along. Our next presenter is OneCloud. So we're happy to come forward. Okay, OneCloud.
Hi everyone. It's us again. My name is Peter, and this is Ray. So we are going to talk about OneCloud, and we and a team of 5 others, actually including us, worked on this OneCloud. Which first, I want to ask you a question: who here uses cloud technologies, like Dropbox, Google? Everyone uses it, mostly. So, do you have a paid account or a free account? Mostly have a free account. Would you like to have more storage on the cloud? Have your files everywhere? Most of the files you can even have videos on the cloud.
save everything you have. But the problem is, when it comes to a lot of storage, you have to pay. And not only once, not twice, but always. If we have like, if we see the storage, so we have to pay, then we just get hooked and we have to pay every month for it. So one cloud can enable us to have more than 50 gigs of cloud storage for free. No monthly subscription, zero. So one cloud came actually from being, we were developing an app about photography and saving it to the cloud. We ran into the problem of just having problem with subscriptions. And a lot of people, users, you don't pay for it. Like for Dropbox, for example, 2% of the users pay for it, and all 98 don't pay for it. So we came up with one cloud, which actually my friend is going to highlight our project and how we use one cloud.
Hi everyone, my name is Wayne. So as my colleague just mentioned, one cloud technology came out of a need while developing another project. So I'll be explaining to you our project and how we used one cloud to make that app or product possible. Okay. So our application is about photography. And nowadays, photography is everywhere. We all have amazing cameras in our devices and we take huge amount of pictures daily. But what happens when you took a lot of pictures in today's event, let's say, and then you went home? You'll have a lot of pictures that you have to scroll through to find whatever picture you want. So you don't have any categorization. Some people go through the effort of categorizing the pictures after taking them and copying it into folders and such. But also, other people back up their photos to the cloud. If you have Google Plus and Google Drive, it will back it up automatically. Or if you enable it on Dropbox, it will also back it up. But it will all be in one folder, and you will not be able to find your pictures easily. Okay. And then we come to storage. Again, some people store it in their computers, some store it on the cloud. And the cloud is more convenient because you can access it from everywhere, and it's secure, and you wouldn't lose your data there. Not like if your hard disk is wrong. So what happens when we run out of storage? You either have to get other cloud providers like Dropbox or Google Drive and use their free storage, or as my colleague mentioned, you'll get hooked into paying monthly subscription to get your data. And then we have sharing. Today we have so many different ways to share our photos. We can share through Facebook. We can share through Facebook or through Instagram, or if you're more into private sharing, you can do it through Gmail, which have limited space for attachments, or you can do it through WhatsApp, which is good, but it reduces the quality of images. Look into the experience of photography these days. It's you have to take pictures in a separate app, then use a different app to categorize them, like Shootbox or File Manager Pro, and use another app to back it up online, and use a fourth app to share your photos, and whether publicly or privately. And for that, you can say that the experience is broken in photography. And this is where we wanted to step in as Project Shutter. This is our code name for the application, Project Shutter. So let's start with the main problem, which is categorization in this categorization, instead of doing it after taking pictures, we decided we should do it before taking pictures. You can easily just, let's say, in your calendar you have droidcon for today. So when you get your phone out, it will have a tag appearing on the camera itself with droidcon. So you just press droidcon and start taking pictures. All these pictures will be saved into droidcon album. And all these albums will appear in a beautiful design and you can see it easily and you don't have to categorize the pictures after taking them. You can still do that, but it makes life much easier. And then we have the storage. With Project Shutter, you can connect to a cloud provider and back up all your albums to the cloud storage. And every album, it will be backed up as a folder on the cloud. So it will be much, much easier to go through on the cloud. But yet again, that doesn't solve the problem of having to pay monthly subscription. And this is where the idea for cloud technology came. So what does OneCloud do? Well, first, it will allow you to sign into a cloud provider, for instance, Dropbox. Then it will allow you to, it will start synchronizing and backing up your albums as folders to the cloud. But again, simple. With OneCloud, it will ask you to connect another cloud provider, let's say Google Drive, and it will continue syncing your data seamlessly to the cloud. It will. You wouldn't need to think where is my photos being backed up to. It will take care of handling your storage and cloud accounts, and you can keep on adding more and more cloud providers. Right now, we're working on supporting these four cloud providers: Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, and Flickr. And these four providers combined will give you up to 50 gigabytes of storage, which is equivalent to around 9,000 photos. And the best thing is, all of this is for zero monthly subscription. So this is the first way this is the first problem that one cloud technology helped overcome and made the application possible. And then we move to sharing. Instead of using so many different platforms to share photos, again, you can use one cloud technology, which is utilized here in Project Shutter, to share your photos with your friends and family. And the best thing is, even if, for instance, you connected your Dropbox to Project Shutter and you connected your Google Drive, what will happen is one cloud will take care of sharing across these different platforms and cloud providers, so you don't have to be troubled and think about it. So now if we compare the old photo experience, it was broken, you had to get so many different apps to do it, but now with Project Shutter, it's a one continuous, seamless process from photography to categorization, backing up and expanding your storage, plus sharing photos. And again, you will not pay any monthly subscription. So you might say, how will we make money out of this? We have two models, basically. One is sponsored albums, which is basically advertising, and the second one is a premium album. Sponsored albums is pretty simple. A company, let's say like Mercedes, they want to introduce their new car. So what they can do is they can add an album that has photos of their new product or promotion, which would appear as an advertisement on the application, as an album. Or the second method is offering a freemium album. If we compare the current solutions, if you want to subscribe to any of the cloud providers, the cheapest you can find is $2 per month, which is $24 per year. And that's just for backing up the storage. And if you also want to do the categorization, you have to pay at least $3 more for any app to do the categorization for you. So What we're doing in Project Charter is we're giving away a free app. We can connect one cloud provider for free, and the second one we can synchronize up to 1 gig of data for free. If you want even more data, you can buy a prepaid application for 499, and this will allow you to backup all the cloud providers we support. And maybe if you don't want all of that, you can pay as you go, which is 199 to add one more cloud provider instead of getting the premium application. Of course, we'll be working to support this application worldwide. So we're working on localizing the application, as well as we'll be contacting blog sites such as CNET, The Verge, TechCrunch to do reviews of the application as a beta version. And we'll be rolling out the more we add languages. So we'll start with GCC and English-speaking countries, then we'll move on to the rest of the Middle East and Europe, North Africa, and Far Europe and Far East. Of course, what we explained today was some of the features that are available in Project Shutter, which all were made possible thanks to one cloud technology, which we are planning to use in many other applications and offer it to developers as well in the future. It will allow you to have passcode locks on albums or folders, touch ID protection, archiving, private commenting on photos as well and folders as well as just take photos. So features. So in brief, this is Project Shutter and the technology behind it, which is yes. Okay, first of all, I'm not fully familiar with Jolly, but as far as our market study we've done, uh, we haven't designed services that will abstract what cloud you're using. So we're giving away one API that will allow you to interact with the cloud without having to bother with what cloud are you using. So it's completely abstracted. It's a technology that will be used by application. It's not an application itself. So yeah, it's a service where instead of using like the Dropbox SDK or the Google Drive SDK, we're using our own APIs to save files, get files, create folders, and so on to whichever cloud providers the user has added to his account. And this way, we are not just targeting our services, like Project Shutter is one application or one cloud, but there are so many other applications you can activate.
Also, Jolly Cloud is neat. It's like a platform that allows you to have all your cloud providers and manage them. They don't like give you a full view of everything. You don't manage it for you. You can go there. Doesn't unify. So I think that's
Well, we've looked into all the terms of use and terms and conditions of the different cloud providers, and according to what we've seen, there is nothing stopping us from using our application. It's all within fair play, you can say.
When user would like to use your service, do you expect you to go create new accounts which are really create your application?
Well, there are two ways you can as if you just want to use your our let's say project shelter for instance, without creating account, you just can it will ask you to connect cloud provider. You just say Dropbox and add another Google Drive, just normal permissions from the device itself, and you can use it. But if you're planning to use this across multiple devices, so instead of asking you to connect all your cloud providers on each device, it's much easier to create an account, connect all your cloud providers to it, and then log in with that account everywhere. So it's possible both ways. As an account that has all your providers or clouds, or you can just use the clouds as without an account.
If I don't have
You have to register.
You have an Android or iOS?
generally or always
Mostly anyone who uses Android, for example, they have to have a Google account. And by having a Google account, you will have a Drive account. So if you just log in with that, for example, it's really easy. You can just, in the app itself, it will ask you to choose Google, for example. And then it will just take it. It will just connect it with the account that's already on the phone.
assume that I'm just trying to understand your logic. Assume that I'm an Android user, I'm using Google account, I downloaded your application, I'm not IT savvy. I wanted to start uploading photos. I started uploading, it's filled Google Drive. Then
You have to from storage.
or manual by myself, then I have to add it to your
No, when you run out of data storage, it will come up, a pop-up, and then you choose, for example, Dropbox. And there, if you don't have the sign-in option, you can just sign up. And inside the application itself and the window itself, you can actually create an account very easily.
What you say, you will give me GB, right? For my picture. As I know, Flickr give me 1 terabyte for your picture only. I can put it in one account only. I don't have to go for data 3 different platforms, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. I put my data everywhere with your app. I have to have 4 different accounts at the same time for 1 terabyte. Well, I have to
Well, if you're talking about the app itself, it doesn't only relate to the app. You have the categorization, the pre-categorization that you have in the beginning. When you just make a folder, we have a calendar event, you just click on it, or in the location. Then the cloud comes in. If you use Flickr, it will be amazing. It will sync everything. But the problem is you don't have the categorization option or the private channel. Private sharing on all platforms. That's very good, but you don't have categorization. Plus, if you use it, well, there are yeah, that's good. Actually, most of them do that. But the problem is you don't have it on the fly as the web. So the app gives you convenience in that way. And also, if you want just one account in the app itself, use the Yahoo account. And if you want more, even more storage, or if you want more storage, you can actually hook another one. So it gives you more space, plus the Yahoo.
You can just connect one cloud provider, which is Flickr. That's up to you. If that is enough for you, it's perfectly fine. But for instance, you can say just I'll use Flickr. But what if, let's say, again, we were in droidcon, we took pictures that's backed up to Flickr. I took pictures that's backed up to Dropbox. Okay, we want to share the data. How are we going to share? I don't have a Flickr account. I don't want to sign up for a Flickr account. How will we share it with you? It's not as easy, but if we're both using, let's say, Project Shutter, I have an account, I use Google Drive and Dropbox, you just use Flickr, we'll share with each other it will not ask me to sign up for Flickr. It will not ask you to sign up to Google Drive or Dropbox. It will just share it. So what cloud provider you want to use it's up to you. It's you choose whatever storage is enough for you, whatever cloud provider you prefer. We're giving you the ability to connect multiple for that purpose. And don't forget, we were talking about the not just for project all target photos, but one cloud can be applied for folders and files of all different types. So what cloud is completely your choice. You can choose whichever. But we give you other service features getting cost effective providers and platform, which is another
I want to just buy have membership. This, for example, uh, Dropbox, whatever. Okay, you have a big amount of big space, and you don't need the customers to have account notice. Okay, you just choose there, for example, and share that picture. Because you will have storage service.
yes.
Okay, so you are depending on other storage service for that. Okay, so do it like this. Instead of letting people sign up on platforms. Okay, just get out of this headache. Okay, sign up just for me, and no kind of cloud service completely. This is much easier for even
Yes, from a
maybe a lot easier.
legal perspective, we cannot sign up for you. We have to
You
if
can
you
sign up for him also. You can do something like Barcamp. You know, you're doing a free account for you. You're sending all the pictures to all the customers because you have a database. And for each user, it's related to each user and share with each user. Okay? I think this is for me is much easier.
yes, but what we're doing here is using your method will be paying for the subscription. Yeah. Okay, so there are legal aspects. Yeah. And other than that, we're offering this service or idea for people who wouldn't want to pay a subscription. That's why we're giving it as a one-time payment of a low price to use it. So if we as a company, we are paying a subscription and we have storage online, and we're doing one-time payment. Let's say all worldwide bought our application. So we have enough money to pay the subscription for a few years, then what's next? We still make subscription, but people already bought the application. So from a business perspective, it's not also not really possible.
So there is a voice here that usually, also if, for example, I will do pay for a subscription on the terabyte, but I want to for example, so this is the challenge we I think. Thank you so much.
Actually, after hearing your concept, I visit, I feel it's something like distributed storage. I feel something like distributed storage. So, like you are aggregating multiple cloud storages and putting and managing it together as a single service. Reliability is basically split into reliability of different cloud platforms. So tomorrow, if Google Drive goes down for 10 minutes, your part of my data is going down for 10 minutes. How do you account for that? Do you account for data being backed up or?
No, but that's why what we're doing is we're using the top cloud providers available because if we order our own cloud provider, we will not be able to reach as much reliability as Google or Microsoft or Dropbox because their gigantic companies which specialize in them. So we're relying, instead of reinventing the wheel ourselves in reliability, we're using how reliable their systems are, because I haven't heard of their services being down, and even when they are, it's very, very minor in few regions of the world and very small. They never lose data. They might be down for a couple of minutes in worst case scenarios, but that's something that will not happen.
No, not always telling about technical difficulty from their side. Could be that I forgot one password to one particular account. Like right now we have multiple cloud accounts. So if I forget my password to one particular cloud, like before if I had one single cloud, one single platform, I had one single credentials to manage. And when I have multiple credentials, there is a difficulty from my side. And you can't handle that also because you said there's a legal aspect to it.
No, what will happen is using each user will have their own profile or account, and they will
First connect every cloud provider. You can connect every cloud provider, and then you can just plug in with that user identification.
My suggestion is that there are distributed systems, distributed storage, algorithms and systems actually available where you could save part of the data at other places to keep still increase reliability. So if you could think something of that sort, if I forget, say I'm changing the credentials at some point, say because Google Drive has its own no separate credentials for Drive. So if I lose my Google account credentials, so suddenly I'm losing my Drive credentials as well. And if I change the password somewhere else, it might not reflect in your data. It's your
we don't save the password. When you change the password, if you don't say any signed-in if you don't ask the cloud provider to de-authenticate any authenticated application, so we will not save your password. Your task is not authenticated. You can provoke our permission, and this way, whatever is saved there, we will not have access to it. Authenticate us again, and we have access to it.
Just to follow on what was suggested by the gentleman, that you can create your own storage.
You're the technical advisor.
Database.
Our attendant has a question. Please, could you help him?
This is one of the save your photo from Google Plus. It will go to something similar to what is described by you. And that will not count as part of your Google Drive storage. It will count only if you move the photo manually into Google.
No, actually, it does now. If you go to Google Drive, on the bottom left, you can check it out. You have Google Drive storage, if you have photo storage. So you can select from the photo storage, and that is provided by Google Drive.
If you save it to Google, it says to Google Plus.
It's Google Plus is part of Google Drive. And now, if you go to on Google Services, if you go to Google Drive today, you'll find that tab of photos from Google Plus.
If you allow.
Yes,
If you don't allow it, it will remain in Google Plus database. Then it's a different problem.
If you allow backup from Google Plus, it will save it to your Google Drive.
Yes, see, that's the difference. Yes.
You know, yes? Yes. Yes. Yeah, really cool. Really amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm using the same. Yeah. Well, it's still in the warming phase. We expect tomorrow just more. Yeah, in our flagship plants in Berlin or UK, we have more than 1,000 tennis. Really huge with 4 or 5 tracks on the same time. They are in several rooms. But we'll always start small. Organic growth.
I love 2 points.
And we hope to build up Dubai as the
that I think the title
the center point for the Arabic states.
because when you
So
said
why
one out,
would make no sense to go to Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi,
so on. I
choose
thought
one and cover all the fourth to this?
And use the first speaker. He has an excellent website.
account with you,
Arabic
to
speaking.
create accounts with
Use
different
him.
clouds.
Okay, yeah.
I
He has a
know
website.
about it, manages.
I took his
And
number.
if I store copy, you store it anywhere. That's it. I don't communicate with you.
So perhaps you can send me.
I
I give you my picture. Yeah, I give you my card, and then that's connect via mail, LinkedIn, and then we can exchange data.
When you say one cloud, I thought
So
there's
we
a
can work with that.
That's why we're not talking as a product. It's a service that will allow developers to use.
So it's,
You know us.
from your description, I understood another thing. It's not a cloud. It's a system that will manage your clouds. So you make your clouds, how do you connect it? Manage it
On the meeting.
So here comes my second question, which is if someone goes manually to one of the data clouds and change the structure of the files, how will your one cloud server or service work along with that thing?
The thing is, if you go into detect changes. So, for example, if you add a new picture, which we have going to do it will be added to a new folder. For example, you have a folder called fun on Dropbox. You add a new picture or 3 new pictures or whatever. It will sync it to one cloud on your devices, for example, in production. So actually, it will reflect the changes.
So when changes are made in one cloud, your service will take
Reflect
and resynchronize the metadata for the user.
It's a tool. You upload and then you download, for example, if you want to add something for your home.
So if someone used the cloud directly, it will also detect that and add it. Also, you can use the cloud through the application.
Yeah, we have full free.
Okay, thank you, OneCloud, for finding a solution for us to categorize, store, and share 9,000 photos all in one place for 0 subscription. Sounds fantastic. And what else sounds fantastic is that you have 15 minutes now for a coffee break, and then we will come back. So enjoy.
Waiting for a presentation. No, that's what we get interested in. I am. I'll fund this. Yeah, خلاص. So let's collaborate. Let's talk. This is the and it's kind of it needs some investment. I think it could be working. It's something new. Something working. We'll do. We'll do.